Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? If anyone was to ask me who the greatest comedian who ever lived was, I'd have the answer would be easy, at least for me. I'd have to say Richard Pryor. You know, and on Netflix, they just have a whole bunch of new stuff on there, and one of them is like a special from PBS, and like an hour long, but it's 56 minutes, hour long special called Richard Pryor Icon. And PBS does a lot of neat stuff with American legends and stuff like that. I'm surprised that I don't know if they did American Legends with Richard Pryor, but if they didn't, they should have. And basically, this is a fascinating story. First of all, sadly, he passed away a long time ago, but this curtails like a bunch of his friends and other comedians like Tracy Morgan and Louis Anderson and George Lopez and George Wallace talking about the great Richard Pryor and his friends. Study comedy, one professor, and then his bodyguard was talking about that, and it talks about how he grew up and how he made his start in television, like Merv Griffin, which I never seen all these. All these were in the early '60s in black and white TV. I never saw any of those performances, and he was brilliant in all of them. And it talks about how he transformed when the whole counterculture thing in the late 60s started to happen, and started to transform and become a completely different comedian than what he was back in the 60s, early 60s. And it's a fascinating, fascinating show. I mean, if you get a chance, I definitely highly recommend Richard Pryor Icon. I mean, I respect him as a comedian, and I think he's really, really funny. It's an awesome, very interesting show. And it talks about him in the movies and stuff. A whole bunch of stuff happened. Now, I think if you are interested in comedy and you want to study a true comic legend, this gives you some insight into the world of Richard Pryor. It's awesome, awesome film on Netflix right now. I give it a full-on 10 out of 10. And if you get a chance to see Richard Pryor Icon, I definitely recommend it. So until next time, please take care, my Legion.